Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Rapid growth in XRP 7% to 8% of what? Guys, right, and now something back down again. But there's a reason why I pumped, guys. Why? And maybe in a bit we may talk about the price action of XRP and how it's better for it to dump and follow Bitcoin rather than decouple and go up right now due to that black swan scenario, guys, which we talked about, right? Remember. But the reason why I did pump is because here we go, it has begun, because the end is here from BC backer. Oh snap, what just happened? Rich has denied the SEC's request to appeal the Ripple decision. Amazing work by Johnny Deaton, fellas. Yes, I confirmed receipt of the court's email just now. Just Taurus has granted the SEC's request for an interlocutory appeal, so the commission has lost again, and Gary seems to be beyond frustrated. Right. After that, he continues to be this guy's host, so it's clear that everyone did their part. True XRP investors, we all accomplished something together. Twitter, cryptocurrency, and everyone else was reporting on the story. The XRP community on Twitter is growing at an unprecedented rate right now, and that gives us hope for the future of the entire roadie. The judgment on July 13th that XRP is not a securities is final and binding. Wow, I wouldn't make this up if I tried. When the number 13 is mentioned, we just can't seem to put it together. What they got a 13 today is what they got a 13 from Bobux Hindman's emails, which were mysteriously deleted after being marked as not secure in 2013. You can't make this stuff up if you watch the ceremonies being performed right now. You can't stop it, and yet people continue to lie to your face and insist that Baba knows nothing. I know, right? Edo. Let's check the records and learn about the historic events on that day. Trial in this matter is scheduled to begin on April 23, 24 at 9 a.m. in Courtroom Gaz. 100% conclusion for the reasons stated. Above, SEC's motion for a certification of interlocutory appeal is a 9 and the SEC's request for a stay is a 9 as well, guys. As moot, the clerk of court is directed to terminate the motion. Wow. Obviously, there is a significant amount of time involved in the judicial system. It is now less likely that the court-ordered date of December 4, 2023, for pre-trial scheduling, will be met. We need to put our feelings and the parties' deadlines aside for a moment, folks. Then on April 16, we'll see each other again in December. There will be a final pre-trial conference in court where all parties' attorneys will be present, but here's the interesting part. At least an hour will have passed since the parties' attorneys and the parties themselves met in person to discuss settling this matter. Guys, the right price has climbed, and there will likely be a settlement soon. Wow, you guys won't believe it, but I actually know Lisa Taurus in that room. The SEC is furious, that much is certain. The SEC's attorney, Jeremy, then informs us that the court has denied the agency's request for an interlocutory appeal, which means the case will go to trial in April or be dismissed. Furthermore, the order will permit the judge to explain certain aspects of the ruling in greater detail, making it more difficult for the SEC to win on appeal. Perhaps this is why the SEC has been targeting other cryptocurrency firms. I have no idea what their strategy is. That's probably what it is, if you ask me, men. That's why this is so amusing. The SEC anticipated a loss to Ripple of at least 100%, so they decided to play it safe. This is why they attacked Coinbase and Binance recently. They know they have a good chance of winning if they go up against Nance. When it comes to Coinbase, I don't know a whole lot. But can't you see what we're setting up here? Crisis for the government agency. Wow. And if you guys want to read all this, you certainly can. But if you do visit this page, you'll appreciate the judge's explanation of her holding and the reminder to the SEC that commodity speculation alone doesn't pass the test. Rather, you need to rely on the efforts of others, something the SEC failed to prove. The court also found that the SEC failed to prove that programmatic buyers were motivated by speculation because of the work of others, even if the record showed that many programmatic buyers purchased XRP with the anticipation of profits. Wow. Interesting. The fact that purchases and trades of ripples occurred on digital asset exchanges was not a deciding factor in the court's decision. Josh Torres has had it with the SEC and SBS. However, I did discover something very peculiar. Hold on a sec. You can't appeal this either, as I'll explain in a second. Right. Now then, what should we do? Is there a likelihood that this will end in a compromise? I have no idea. But I think it's safe to say that our odds have just improved. That settles it. However, I have now discovered an oddity. This is why I feel this way because, look at this. This occurs annually on April 23rd and 24th. The trial, right, I think is because they are setting something up for the bull run for the XRP price to explode in such a manner cause, right, maybe it actually may be in the next video, we will talk about more about what just occurred, the black swan, and what it means, right? Let's hear John Deaton's thoughts on the SEC's decision to reject the Taurus Danelle and Johnny Theta's appeal of that decision. That she denied it, apparently just now, raises several questions about the nature of her denial and its possible consequences. They were essentially unsuccessful. But first, John, could you please elaborate on what exactly their interlocutory appeal entailed? Sure, no problem. And this is the news we were anticipating all along. Because it's common knowledge that I've been insisting she's lying about it. An interlocutory appeal, to use another word, is essentially an early appeal. Typically, you'd hold out until after the trial concluded. If one side or the other believes that the other made a mistake, they can appeal the decision. Here. What we have here is an interlocutory preemptive appeal because Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson are still on trial for their possible roles in aiding and abetting Ripple's institutional sales. The SEC has the burden of proving that Ripple's top executives acted irresponsibly by assisting the company in selling XRP to institutional investors like banks and venture capital firms. Therefore, an interlocutory appeal is typically only authorized where there is just a question of law at stake or when there is some degree of uncertainty. Remember that the SEC has been insisting this is a relatively easy exam all along. The extent to which he rules the country is crystal clear. Gary Gensler states that under every given set of circumstances, the relevant facts must be applied. However, the SEC was unhappy with the outcome. Then they decided to take me to court. He kept insisting that she had not properly considered the available evidence. As a result, she let the SEC file their move, the SEC filed their motion, and she has now rejected the SEC's motion in its entirety, meaning that the case will proceed to trial sooner rather than later. You can file an appeal once the trial has concluded. All she did for XRP was to say, look, all I did was apply the facts of the case, and the cryptocurrency benefited. And this is what I was telling Marina, one of our charter guests, when we were discussing the judge raking and Terraform issue, she added. She noted that some XRP holders may have relied on the efforts of Ripple since they made a speculative purchase of XRP. However, the SEC did not provide evidence of this. Most first-time XRP buyers had no idea the company even existed, which is all I can say about it. Since XRP itself is now a security, it follows that the programmatic sale of XRP on exchanges is not a security. And with this decision, she cemented it, and believe me when I say that it is now indestructible. Look, I never stated it's impossible for some crypto asset to be a security when purchased on an exchange, she specifically mentioned XRP. If these circumstances persist or not. I reasoned from evidence, end of story. Since the Second Circuit Court of Appeals wouldn't hear her full appeal, she only had the opportunity to challenge the interlocutory ruling. If they aren't required to assess the evidence. She stepped into one of the fun is that situations, and all they want to say is oh, is it a unique matter of law or a unique question of law? The XRP hosts' confessed affidavits are the real deal. Therefore, XRP owners had an impact once more. Everyone involved ought to feel a sense of accomplishment. Our team gave the SEC a kicking. What stopped her from doing this to me, though, I wonder? So, that's it, fellas. The future is bright for XRP and the Ripple guys. By my reckoning, right SEC has passed, and he did not even get a passing grade on their interlocutory appeal. You can't make this stuff up, guys. The judge dismissed all of their arguments in a 14-page judgment and used the word fail 10 times. In written form. What was Johnny Dixon's first impression of Josh, given that he is a newcomer to the team? When I asked Josh about the judge's reasoning, he informed me that she specifically mentioned XRP in her order and that, unlike Bitcoin, XRP is the only digital asset backed by established legal precedent. There may be other coins, but I'm not aware of them. The SEC, however, failed to satisfy its burden under the statute to demonstrate that there were controlling questions of law or that there are substantial grounds for differences of opinion, as was pointed out by CoinDesk in a story published right here. So, I'll just put some of these links here for you to check out. I have no doubt that Lucy has saved more lives. Note 5. While it may seem like just doing chores, taking SEC to school is actually factoring into how we test. Consider a professional programmatic buyer who, while browsing a digital asset exchange, notices the sudden and dramatic rise in XRP's price but is unaware of Ripple's. If this buyer then decides to buy XRP from the exchange in the hopes of selling it at a profit, she would be acquiring XRP with the expectation of making a profit. But that drive did not originate with other people's efforts. Ray, that's crazy. Now the judge is basically teaching Gary Gensler and the SEC a lesson about crypto. I doubt XRP will survive, however, because the judge has already given him the go-ahead to tear apart the SEC's argument that there are substantial grounds for a difference of opinion. Neither the Terraform nor the library cases have anything in common with this one. You can't find another case like the Ripple case or Extra Pure Legal, so there you have it. There is a distinction, as we have just witnessed, between XRP and the other cryptos I don't know right. With divine legal precision, the court ruled that investors in Ripple's programmatic sales cannot reasonably expect profits from Ripple's efforts based on an examination of the facts, circumstances, and economic realities of the transactions. And the SEC is the prey caught in the trap of its own lies. Let's be quite clear on why sales of XRP on the secondary market are not securities, since now that the SEC is losing against Ripple and XRP, it's going to go after every other currency or crypto company out there. No, I won't read this whole thing, but from what I've heard, she's had more than enough of the games the SEC plays. Right? Exactly. Well, there you have it. It was pointless to continue with this case anyway. Just give the people at Brad Garland Home and Chris Larson of Ripple the green light and everything will be alright with the world again at that point in time. Before the inevitable collapse, what is 24 preparing for? I dunno, things feel pretty cool right now. It's all over today. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.